Good morning. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, and the whole world's out there looking at us. So everybody having a lovely Mother's Day? I am. I told the kids. My Mother's Day gift to myself is I'm not cooking today, and I may not even clean up the kitchen from last night yet. So. I'm glad the Orioles are back. I always liked it in the North when the Orioles showed up again. So, what are we going to talk about, Mr. Scott? Nothing in the news.
Oh, nothing. I found came up on my Twitter feed talking about how this guy that worked for, he's been on the news with, he ran McCain's presidential bid.
Yes, Stevenson.
He is upset. He blew out everything in his tweets last night, and he's still going this morning about how compromised Russia got into our system. Because there was a lot of people within the McCain camp, and like how Russia picked Pence, Russia picked Palin.
Russia picked Pence because Pence's brother's entire fortune was based out of Russian money.
Really?
And he's in the Congress now somewhere.
And it makes a lot of sense. Oh, well, Liz seen his tweets. They're quite revealing. And then other people were jumping in and linking in to their reporting and stuff about, oh Lordy, it's pretty deep.
Yeah, they followed the religious right in to taking over when the party was being taken over, because they realized the religious right was doing it purely out of propaganda. I've got my political hat on, yes, guys, one I never wear. Did you see those articles I sent you from the weekly report from Ballotpedia?
Yes.
There's things going on, and the mainstream media is not covering it, but there is a ruby red, never had a Democrat for its state representative, and it was a special election that was on Tuesday with when Ohio and Indiana and all that was happening. And the woman won by 12 points, the Democrat. Do you know, I mean, I cannot tell you, when you're looking for patterns around the country, you look for those kinds of anomalies, because this isn't just it was a purple district and it went blue. This in the entire history of Michigan. It had never had a Democrat before. And when they were talking to people leaving the polling place, it was all the shenanigans the Republicans have been up to. And that especially some of the people said, I may not like our governor, but I didn't want to send death troops to get her. And the other part is a lot of the guys that were part of that trial for trying to kidnap the governor of Michigan, they come from that area. So these are all people who know these are a bunch of gun-toting idiots.
Yeah.
That are getting well paid by someone. So that was one story. And the other one was in the Indiana legislature. And this is something as a political consultant you look at. Incumbents have an enormous advantage over winning over everybody, no matter what, whether it's a primary or the regular election. And 8 Indiana incumbents, Republican incumbents, lost in their primaries. And the reaction to the rest of the people in that area is, they found every village idiot that you knew should not have gotten past the 3rd grade and ran them against them. In one, I don't know what state it was in, but some guy's sitting in jail for murdering his wife, and he made it. He got elected to his.
That was Indiana.
It was Indiana. Okay. I didn't want to say. I used to live right close to Indiana. I lived in Illinois, and I kind of ignore Indiana because I grew up right next to it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there are parts of Michigan that are very blue, but they were saying this particular district was not drawn for her to win those kind of numbers.
No, I was reading that too. But yeah, so, there's hope out there. But yeah, that's all the media was talking about was Vance, in Ohio. Nothing about the little elections or the state elections that have turned.
The other thing that's happening in our state is when our governor called for the Supreme Court to just put its ruling out today, just say it's a done deal, put it out today. That didn't get as much coverage in our local press as you would have thought it would have, because they realize how stupid that is.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, needless to say, I kind of live in a very conservative media. So
what the heck was I reading about Abbott? You're gonna challenge the federal law of something?
The law 42, the ruling 42 that blocked immigrants using the COVID.
That's right. Yeah.
It's gone away. Oh, I mean, every day is like a statement of the idiots when it comes to him. Beto was in Dallas yesterday. I didn't go because I don't do crowds, but I've seen him. I saw him the first time he ran when he was out on his first campaign push, and I've seen him a couple times since. He's very good, but I don't. I get his notices that he's out talking, but I think there's going to be some shocked people in this state at the end of this. I'll be shocked if it goes the wrong way, but I won't be shocked if it goes the right way.
Yes, I believe that too. Yeah. On another wonderful note, I seen Joe Biden is in Ukraine.
Is he?
Joe Biden.
Jill, okay.
Yeah.
Is she good?
Met with what's her name? Olena.
I don't know how to say their names. I'm terribly.
Olena Zelensky.
Mm-hmm.
Met with her, and then I guess Canada's premier. God, names this morning. Trudeau's there too.
God, how could you forget Trudeau? His father was when we were kids. Jeez, I don't even have to remember much.
I know. I just sometimes I go, wait a minute.
Oh, I know.
There's so many people that we never meet and we're trying to talk about. But yeah, it's just crazy, war going on and sneaking dignitaries and lovely people into the country.
Well, that shows you how poor their military intelligence is on the Russian side.
Yeah. I've seen that too, Kelly. Did you see that about UK?
Oh.
Boris's party went down.
Mm. So she's saying went against. There's an S
right.
missing. Okay.
Yes.
Kelly, you type like I type, girl. It's a problem.
Yeah, it's like a total flip. They could easily.
Oh, they're pissed at him. They so lied to them about Brexit, and they are so paying the price. My second husband was British, and I still have all of his nieces and nephews who are my age. He was much older than I was. Are over there, and I still correspond with them on Facebook all the time. It's a mess.
It's like a parliament system, so that they could force them out somehow, with a no confidence or something. They got that kind of majority now.
Good. I may have to watch the news today.
Forget my own phone number.
Yeah, I have two phones, and I forget my one that's supposed to be my office number. I have it written down in the notes of the other phone, so I can remember it. Oh, Susan, that's been their goal all along, is to get rid of birth control. They want to get rid of all of it. I mean, and they're like, now they're trying to ban the stuff you get in the mail. I called both my senators. If you don't know this, there's an app you can put on your phone called 5 Calls, and it will remind you 3 times a week of how you can reach your legislators that are around you, and they will give you questions you can ask them, or you can just dial through. And if you've never used that kind of system before, the power of it is before this was really developed in the early 2000s, politicians would say, well, I'm not hearing from my constituents about that. And actually they were hearing from all their constituents about it. But what 5 calls does is it not only connects you to their office, kind of gives you an idea of what the whole background is, but they keep track of your calls. So if Cornyn or Cruz try to come out and say, we've never received any calls on this issue, they can go, ta-da, that's how we got Obamacare. Because the Republicans were lying like a rug about getting calls, and they'd bring out the lists, and then they'd start calling you back saying, your congressman, your senator is not saying you didn't call their, and trust me, it changed, didn't change my guys, but I had the guy in Cornyn's office in stitches at the end of our call because my daughter needs birth control to control a hormonal problem that causes her to have extreme anxiety 2 or 3 days a month. And so she takes these hormones. She's fine. Those hormones are called birth control. She's not married. She's not dating. She just takes it for that reason. Has a 10-year history of doing this. And she came home the day Roe v. Wade got kicked, and she said, Mom, I'm terrified they're going to take that away from me, and I don't want to go back. So I called.
Yeah, Liz, some of those Arizona ones are crazy. What's her?
Oh, is that Gosart? That sounds like a Gosart move.
Or like oh God, is it Carrie Lake? She's nuts.
She's the one who's running for governor. She looks like a news anchor because she was.
And Wendy Rogers, ex-military lady, and she's just nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Things they say, it's like, she said not Gosar, but it's probably within the state.
It's probably a state legislator.
Yeah. I just can't believe all these guys. I mean, I was reading something else. It may have been the same thing, but they were talking about that you sent me.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking the stats of the former guys, the people that talked about the stolen election and that side of the story compared to conservatives. He's losing traction, basically.
Yes.
The message, you still got your certain areas, of course, but that kind of messaging is losing it. So it's a good sign for primaries.
Oh, yeah. And it's why you see McConnell waffling. And it's hard for a turtle to waffle. It really, really is. For entertainment purposes only. Yep. Y'all, I think some of you know how old I am. I was an adult functioning out there in the world pre-Roe. And I was an adult just about to choose whether to have a family or not when Roe started. But pre-Roe, I went with friends that went to get back alley abortions, and I had 2 of them seriously harmed. This is no joke for the women that couldn't get the stuff they needed. There was a period of time where you couldn't get birth control unless you were married. I went to a doctor who wrote it anywhere. Oh, now you're going to make Scott. Marie Hansen's going to make you squirm.
Mandatory.
No. So do we want to talk about, do we have any other issues? Anyone have questions out there?
I have 2 starred.
Okay.
Don't know if you had any hits. A lot of people are wondering, who leaked it and why. Why now?
Okay, I'm going to see if I can see.
They had the 2. You have the 2 scenarios. It's either a SCOTUS person himself, a Republican law clerk, or a Democratic law clerk.
Okay. I see that it was a woman who leaked it, but I'm going to see if it was directed by a Republican. I got no. No, it wasn't directed by a Republican, but they could be a Republican staffer because I got a 3x3. I got a 3 yes, 3 no. But they did it because they knew this was the best way to start to fight it before it became totally real. And before this person, the person who wrote it thought this was going to bring balance and temperance. And that what everybody else figured out is it's going to show the imbalance, the Two of Pentacles, that we're not all tied to hedonism. We're not devil worshippers because we want to have choices. And we're going to figure out the way to get past this. That's this little guy, when he's right side up, he's standing there with all his little poles looking very bemused. And how the hell do I put these together?
Yeah.
Okay. But when he's reversed, it means I've solved the puzzle. So what it really did is it handed us the ability to solve the puzzle. It may not be as fast or as clean, but as I keep trying to explain to people, politics is not a clean endeavor. There's a lot of compromise that has to come from in parts of politics to have anywhere where people can agree. But I don't think they set it up to distract us. I think the person put it out there because they were so outraged. And I think it was a woman. What do you think?
I got, when I did it privately, I didn't put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
I got it was a Republican staffer, law clerk. It very well could be from, I was getting it's a Republican, right? A Republican, it just may be,
right.
Registered as or whatever. Someone was saying it was probably Breyer's because he's leaving. I don't think so. It very well could be maybe even Coney Barrett staffer, something like that.
We got to admit, I mean, she's not the brightest bulb on the tree, right? Christmas tree.
Yeah.
But she, and the thing is, it's not terribly hard to figure out what to say to them to get into their inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, I was, but I think it was done over outrage.
Mm-hmm.
Not to distract or anything. It was just like, this is barbaric.
Mm-hmm.
Because I asked my guys to show me who copied it, and I seen a man and Republican.
Mm-hmm.
But they were doing it for the right reason, to get it out there that this is happening and to turn the tides, because it's like I felt like they don't want this to go through, to hear the outrage, to bring it out there. Is John Roberts married? I'd assume so.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah,
I think he and his wife are well past the point of needing birth control.
Yeah, I got the wheel of fortune to bring change, to bring the outrage. But it isn't going to work. I mean, as far as what SCOTUS is going to do, wants to do.
And the person who want to know if it distracts from the January 6th things, this is like such an absolute no. I can't tell you. I'm not going to go through it card by card, but they're all no. And what it's saying is, that what they're saying is it was not to distract from those hearings. As a matter of fact, it's going to help those hearings, because now you've got a whole level of folks that are really pissed.
Yeah. Wait till the
midterms, but do go vote in your primaries.
Yeah.
Please go check out if, I don't like that game of go vote for the worst person on the other side. If you're going to go vote in a primary, vote for someone you would want to support in November. And they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to have the absolute pedigree you want. They're just a person with the best training and the best ability. And like I've told you before, go to Ballotpedia and you can get an outline of everybody's what they believe. And Ballotpedia contacts every candidate. So if someone doesn't show up on Ballotpedia, it means they don't care enough about whether you get the information. And that also tells me a lot about the candidate.
Kevin feels Roberts.
Okay.
I don't think so. I never delved into who. I mean, my guy just showed, I said, show me. And they showed me a man copying the papers. And then I heard Republican. But they're doing it for the right reasons.
I didn't get that it was Roberts or his clerk. I don't think Roberts, I'm not sure if Roberts has a female clerk. That's where you'd have to start. Who has a female clerk? And you can find that out. It's a matter of public record who works there. I just don't do that anymore.
But Mr. Roberts is outraged.
Of course he is.
He says he's going to find out the leak.
I don't know. Somebody's got in here, was it Brett Kavanaugh? I saw a funny cartoon about Brett Kavanaugh running around. Oh, it was a satirical article from Andy Borowitz about how he was running around trying to find his briefcase that he'd left in a bar after the leak. Your indigo's on top of it. We're still getting a woman involved.
Who's this guy? This hangman. Inning strength. It's the first one I'm getting. Okay, I'm getting it's a woman SCOTUS, behind the scenes directed, but I got a man copied.
Okay.
That's what I got. I got the High Priestess right next to a King of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the Decision that's been written, Strength, and here Six of Coins makes me feel like copying. They wanted an ending to the situation. And so it may have been actually a Democratic SCOTUS with a moderate Republican clerk or something.
I think who is an interesting intellectual game, but what do we do about it now?
Yeah, they just want change by leaking this. The Star Six of Cups world. They just want change because this is barbaric.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I were to toss out, if you want to know divisions, Republican or Democratic, I would assign swords to Republicans and wands to Democrat if you want to try to figure it out that way. But but that's what I'm saying. I mean, it was done for the right reasons. It's not to distract or anything like that. But I don't think any justices want to be associated with leaking.
No, and the other thing is, if you don't,
probably secret conversations or something.
Right. If you don't follow Sheldon Whitehouse, who's the senator from Rhode Island, he's a very interesting man. When he was first running for Senate, I met him at a fundraiser here in Dallas and ended up sitting next to him at lunch and had a chance to really talk to him. Man's incredibly intelligent. his committee has done nothing for the last 2 years but rake up information about the Federalist Society and all these judges. And I think when Sheldon really comes in to get them, that's when they're going to be gone.
True.
That's true, Harley girl. You got it.
That's basically why it was leaked.
Mm-hmm.
Put pressure on SCOTUS. Yep, Sheldon does rock. It's quite courageous to speak openly about money.
It's Sheldon Whitehouse. It's Senator Whitehouse. I mean, I'm not such a close friend. I should just be calling him Sheldon, but you know.
As a counter up, you want to see what we get today about well, it's a mixed bag, obviously. You know, Kevin got something different. Linda G got something different.
I think it was a woman that copied it and got it out. Scott thinks it's a man. The thing is that actually their sex isn't all that important. It just makes it easier to pick them out in a crowd. But
maybe it's not going to come out. Who knows? But
can you highlight Marie Henson? Not picking on you guys today, Scott, but and that is one of the suppositions in white supremacy. Is there should be more white babies, and white babies were being more effectively aborted, and that's one of those things they believe because they're whack jobs. But
you want to go with the counter question with this?
Mm-hmm.
How is this going to move forward with the codifying row?
Codifying, okay.
Yeah, Schumer's going to bring it up now.
Yep.
Next week for a vote.
Yep, and they can do it if they can break the filibuster. They can do it, and
yeah,
they have Republicans who say they would do that. So let's see.
Well, at least Alaska's. What's her name?
Murkowski,
yeah. I guess Collins flipped back and she won't vote for it, though. She's upset, but she won't vote for it.
Oh, I truly believed he wouldn't change the rules.
I know, right?
I get it's still up in the air. They're still working on somebody. I'm going to see if I can figure out who they're working on.
You're quick with your cards.
Yeah. I've been doing it for too long.
I need to feel the cards and shuffle until my guides say stop. Especially using the same ones.
Okay, the background I have to this why it's a yes no. The yes, the first card in is the 10 of Cups. Then it's to finally get us back to that family, and it's to get people out of destitution. This is a 5 of Pentacles, which is usually those two people walking by a frozen church. And then I have right now things are not going the way they want completely. And but then I've got the 5 of Cups. That it's hard because people are looking at all of what they don't really have, but what's behind that energy is they're not altogether sure they can trust the people they're trying to trust to make this change. There's Queen of Swords upside down, so I'm not so sure they're all that sure about Murkowski, but Murkowski does understand how it's going to upset families, so she's probably going to vote for it. And then the out card is really interesting. Man, there's a lot of tens and nines on this. This is the 10 of Pentacles is the out card on this. And we're going to be chewing our nails up to the last minute of that vote. But Biden's going to come in and do some stuff to help push this forward. And we're going to get balance. We're going to get temperance. So it may not be the codification of Roe v. Wade we want, but I think they're talking with people and making alterations now. So it's going to cover the majority of what people get. What did you see, Scott?
It's a weird throw. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's not definite either way. I agree with what you're saying, that there is some kind of wiggling. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not going to pass Monday or whenever he brings it up. Mm-hmm. But I do agree. I do have the 5 of Cups also with some kind of loss and compromise on something with that. Mm-hmm. 10 of Cups, 2 of Wands, and 5 of Cups. So there's a loss situation trying to bring in some kind of compromise, but within the House or something, or Senate, whatever it is. So there may be Biden or someone higher trying to change things.
Somebody's twisting arms. I just feel like that reading with the anxiety cards, somebody's twisting arms.
Yeah, because 5 of Wands kind of can be anxiety, but an Emperor, then the anxiety and infighting, whatever, and then Ace of Cups. So something's going to come from this Emperor stepping in, some higher authority figure. Could be Biden or a money man, who knows? Let's see. It's going to change eventually, but just so much. It will be. I just don't know if it'll be by the decision of SCOTUS, but maybe the question is what SCOTUS going to decide in June on the opinion. It's Mississippi. I think they're going to finish up in June, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in the end, I do have a walking away from something and a change, and then the 7 of Wands here moving forward. It's just not giving me that boom of what it is. It's very confusing.
It's very murky. There's just so much going on in the back of this that it's
going to be a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it might have to wait on an actual bill on my end with the Hermit.
Mm-hmm.
The Hermit, Knight of Swords, 3 of Swords, and Page of Swords. So there might be something we're not happy with in the end. But it's livable. Like, okay. There's some kind of compromise, like maybe the weeks end up being taken down from 23 or whatever with Roe.
Well, if what they need to change is giving states absolute rights over this. If they give them absolute right over this, you kiss your rights goodbye in the state I live in until we have a change in the election. And that may be what this is about, is to make people finally realize. You guys have to realize I've been fighting in politics for 50 years since I fought for women's rights here in Texas, and became aware of what a difference it made when they had Roe v. Wade in 73. But one thing the Republicans always talked about was getting this court. Now, the fact they had to ultimately steal it, they didn't get it by election, because the judges who voted for this were Bush, who did not get the majority of the vote, and Trump, who sure as hell didn't get the majority of the vote, and then McConnell blocking Obama from that. When that started, and I really, really loved Obama, and I love a lot of the stuff they did. They should have gone after them. There was a legal way around that. They could have said either the Senate advises or consents or we're putting them on the court. They don't have to have the Senate vote to do that.
Really?
Yeah. If the Senate refuses to do its job, and then they just should have started just running candidate after candidate in there until it was totally obvious what, because everybody was sort of quietly saying, well, we don't want to rock the boat. You know, the Republicans are really going to go after Obamacare. And it was all based around healthcare decisions. And
yes, that's why they nickname him No Drama Obama.
Mm-hmm. And in this case, when he was out of office, somebody asked me, well, what did you think about his terms? And I said, the only mistake you made was not going after that. Going after Merrick Garland.
Yeah, I think that's what Schumer said.
And there's more of them that are at risk this cycle than us. So,
it's still a fight. But yeah, I see it did pass the House. It's just a matter of you know. Oh, Heather got something similar too.
Mm-hmm.
We some kind of emperor taking actions here to change the situation. So,
see, I read the Ace of Swords a little differently than many people. I think the Ace of Swords, when it shows up, means action should be being taken, but it's like a speed bump ace. It's like you're moving forward and then you get stopped by the speed bump when you're going down the road. I don't know if you have those troublesome things in other parts of the country, but we have them here. And I never drive anywhere else. But it means things start going and then they stop and they start going. And, you know, it's always sort of very discomforting.
Okay. Yeah, Debbie was saying that Warren said they don't have the votes, but we'll see where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Protection Act. Okay. So that Protection Act.
Okay, let's see if it will pass before the midterms.
Will be after. Well, that would be.
Are we going to ask if it will pass before the midterms or after?
Yeah, before or after. So that if it would be after the midterms, we're probably not looking at till February.
Right. Okay. See. Okay, I'm going to ask if they're going to pass before the midterms. I got a big fat no. Sorry. And I got the Ten of Swords. There's going to be some really horrifying stories come out.
Oh, good Lord.
About what this has done to people. Happy Mother's Day in Australia too, I guess. I don't know that theirs isn't ours. But thank you. I accept it.
I guess they do celebrate.
They have in England it's earlier than ours.
What is that? Or after. Oh my God, I got the Ten of Swords too.
Yeah, okay, well.
Illusions.
But the good thing about the Ten of Swords is it's over. I always tell people it looks miserable. I think the Nine of Swords is her worse, but.
Oh, they're both bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it does look like it's next year.
Mm.
So
But the thing is, it's that way for the states. If you live in one of the 26 states that started passing really abominable laws, like the one I live in. But there's still the other 24 states that won't have changed.
Well, depends if these fools pass criminal laws of even leaving the state. I don't know if there was a video someone made
That'll get challenged in federal court because it's interstate traffic, and they can't really. The state itself can't control that. If that was the truth, then if you killed somebody in Missouri and you moved back to Texas, then you could get tried in a Texas court for what happened in Missouri, and you can't do that.
You know, we've seen that, Michelle.
Yeah.
Luckily, Tennessee got called out before they finished the voting. They eliminated any age requirement, and someone called them out, and they changed it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was only because it was talking, you know, it was open hearing. If it was behind closed doors, it probably would have passed. It's just crazy. I guess we'll see what we sent on what SCOTUS is actually going to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Road Bill Protection Act doesn't pass until February or whatever. That must mean it's going to be 5-4 against, in something like that. Let's see what that energy is.
Okay, what's the question? What's SCOTUS
going to do in this hearing coming up in June, since the opinion was already written? Are they going to allow? I guess basically they're going to allow that Mississippi. I think they're finishing the Mississippi case.
Mm-hmm.
Or are they combining both Mississippi and Texas?
No, what they're doing is in the rule. If you read the law, if you read what was in that opinion, if it stands completely, is they're eliminating the federalization of the right. So it's whatever state you're in, it's a free-for-all. And it stops it in those states.
And I suppose DOJ can't challenge anything once it's a decision by the court, even though it's.
Well, what they can do is they can do provisions. It's like the provision you were talking about interstate commerce. That's the one about birth control, that they can't send birth control through the mail.
Right.
States don't have a right over the interstate commerce that's in the mail. So you can get the pill. They can try to make it illegal to possess the pill, but they could have a court challenge. Why? If it's been passed by the FDA and it's a safe medication. There's a lot of ways around this, guys. It's like there's so many. Your head just wants to explode. That's why Stuart Stevens is losing it. I mean, today, his head just started to explode. What I got for, is it going to go through as it is? Yes, because there's a dark man who really wants to just roil the seas and make everybody seasick.
Oh, gosh.
And then we've got the Ten of Swords right now. All of the decisions and all the things are being cut right now. Someone's trying to find a balance. And there is going to be some message out of the court it's going to be not as harsh as what he said. Now, I can't believe they're going to leave in the part of the opinion that talks about the guy who burned witches in the 1600s, really. What'd you get?
It's confusing because I got no negative cards. And pretty much I use my cards, but they're all pretty much Major Arcana too.
Okay. That just means it's big.
It's a big case. Well, SCOTUS comes in the first one with the courthouse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then something changes with the Wheel of Fortune here. And then comes in Ace of Cups, doing what's right. And then I have the federal government stepping in and possibly doing something with the Knight of Coins. So there's some kind of law, or it's like, it feels like, DOJ is going to have to step in here, though, but the angels and the law are actually behind the side no matter what they decide. So it feels like a challenge here. Yeah, it feels like there's a challenge coming. I mean, it feels what they're doing, what's right, but there's a challenge to something. There's no bad energy here. That's what's confusing me.
Well, there's no bad energy because it's finally clarifying something that's hung in the balance for 50 years.
That's the problem. It shouldn't be any balance.
Okay, we're going to see. I'm going to see if it's going to be the most draconian way, if it's going to come out as in its most draconian form. I got no. So they're modifying it right now.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Because, man, did they sail into a storm they didn't expect. And they're feeling the judgment, and they're feeling the judgment from their big donors, because their big donors, including the one that you and I talked about with Stuart Stevens, who he thinks they're big time. We've invested to get you guys in this close to majority, and you're about to blow yourselves back into the 50s after you walked away from the working classes. And there's no peace in the house that they're in. There's no harmony. And they're very depressed. And they see a very thin path forward from the moon. And they still don't know what they're going to really do. But what I get out of this is that will not be the most draconian. They're going to make modifications to it. But no matter what kind of modification they make, what they're basically saying is none of us have a right to privacy.
Right. I keep getting in that wheel of fortune. So whatever happens is going to change. Change for the better. Higher up angels and whatnot are putting the energy down to do the right thing. So if it is a 10 of swords, it's short-lived. 6 months or whatever, unfortunately.
No, burqas don't come with floral prints. Someone just asked that question.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. It's like, if you have a Supreme Court ruling, what is the point? Or why do we even have a constitution when you can change laws?
Well, okay.
Or oversee a ruling that's been 50 years.
Because it was about privacy, and the word privacy does not. This is where you get to originalists versus living constitutionalists. Originalists think if they didn't write it in 1778, I think is when it got written, it doesn't work. I mean, if they didn't have this is their whole thing about guns. They define guns this way. Well, they didn't know there'd be AK-47s that could shoot 20 kids in 5 minutes.
Right.
So and then there's people who believe that the Constitution is a living document, which is what I was taught as a child, and that we can go in and we can reinterpret where their brains were. And we have a lot of the Federalist Papers and some of Madison's papers that give us where their brains were at the time. And you can see where it should progress. And the obvious progression in this was there was not the word privacy defined as we had sovereignty over our own bodies. Now, I think life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness kind of cover that thought. But these guys don't, because they go back to the word. There is no word that says privacy, which makes the state supreme over us. And that's not how I believe the Constitution was written. That's why these guys are going back and trying to rewrite it. And that's where they all lied like little rugs and should have not been. I mean, Coney Barrett did the most Weasley description of it, but Kavanaugh and the rest of them said, no, it's set precedent. If you start, you're right, Scott, it tears the whole Constitution up if you start saying when the court adjudicates something, looks at both sides and says, how do we deal with this? When they come to settle judgment and they don't leave it as precedents, that sets up chaos.
I know, it's like if there's ever a strong majority either way, they could just do another law. It's silly.
Mm-hmm. It's chaos. It's chaos.
It's even like this. They're talking, oh, we get the majority, we're immediately going to impeach Biden over the Afghan withdrawal.
Even if he didn't do anything except take care of us.
It's just nuts. I really felt that it was like a last straw. It's like we have to, impeach Trump twice. It just, I'm sure
we have to work with a couple things. We have to get rid of these judges who obviously lied, because unless we see them removed, everyone will know that anyone that gets up there can lie, even if they're from our side.
Right. One thing this is all showing, the former guy, it's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
When there's a majority by Dems, we know what to fix.
Yeah, and privacy has to be codified in such a way it can't be torn apart. And the other one, somebody wrote about it earlier in the chat, is that they can use your cell phones and your computer records to see if you've sought information that they think is nefarious. And we've all turned a blind eye to that and said, well, they're only going after terrorists. They'll go after anybody if they're on the wrong side. I mean,
there was a guy I follow on Twitter said, and he's just a good journalist. Mm-hmm. He made a few different comments. He said he had the FBI show up on his door.
Yep.
Just because of what he was talking about, and it was just an article. Yeah, they can know. Okay. I mean, it's like Google opinion. I got this little Google opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I get a few cents here and there for saying, did you search this or did you stop here? It's like, they know where you're doing.
Well, when Facebook, I remember in 2016, coming up to 2020, they'd have all those cute games, where you'd say on Facebook, how does Nancy get defined for this? Well, when you open up those games for them to look through, you open it up so they could look through your whole search history, your whole Facebook record. Those companies were not from our country. They were looking for a certain sort of attitude, so that they could start to feed you information. And Facebook did nothing about it, and they knew it was there.
What was that? There's no rights for women to vote. All right. I guess maybe, many people have talked about it, but eventually I've seen or been shown that there's the 3 judges leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Retirement, impeachment, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Passing. And most likely with the Ginny Thomas affair, likely he would be stepping down.
Yeah, Clarence is going to get sick.
Right. Bless you, Anne.
Thank you.
So, I guess let's toss a few on the energy of the court.
You want to throw on each judge individually, or you want to throw on a number?
Well, how do you want? Let's see if we can get a number. The card has a number that pops out.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to see if Clarence is going to go first.
Clarence Thomas. It's probably best to separate.
Yeah.
Supreme Court Taliban. Pretty much.
Oh. Yes. 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 Star.
Oh.
Yes, ends up getting off the bridge of despair and goes home in one piece. So I think Clarence is not going to be with us much. And for entertainment purposes only, I don't think he's going to die. I think he's just going to go home. But no offense, if I went home to that spouse, I'd probably want to die. But anyway, just my opinion.
Yeah, I got him leaving. I think it does have to do with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Investigations into his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Swords. Here's a subpoena, documents, whatever, and then here's the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
FBI is investigating. So it's, and then I have, here's an offer.
Mm-hmm.
Page of Cups, here's an offer. You should probably leave. And Wheel of Fortune, change.
Mm-hmm.
Change the situation. Yeah.
I'm going to ask, using your cards, are they going to make a deal for him so they both won't be prosecuted?
That's what the Page of Cups is telling me there is. Here's an offer. Get off the court.
Yep, I got the Page of Wands in your deck. It's going to be before the election.
I think so too.
And the Queen of Swords, it's an educated lawyer, teacher, somebody but dark and bitter. That's his wife. His wife is a lawyer, you know. She did pass the bar.
Thank you, Cold Toes.
Mm-hmm.
Christian.
Thank you. They consider them getting out without being taken down a victory. And in the other reading I did on them, the Eight of Swords was there. They feel very, very imprisoned by their choices.
Mm-hmm.
And it leads to a whole set of new ideas.
A distract ain't going to do anything of what's being investigated.
No.
The DOJ and 1-6 committee, they're not going to be distracted by it. The news might. So I don't think it's a non-issue for Ginny if she leaked anything.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? There was a video or not a video, a picture on Twitter. They were celebrating with a $5,000 wine the other night.
Well, that shows ultimate stupidity because no wine's worth $5,000. I'll just tell you that right now, guys.
Pretty much.
Okay, so are we done with Thomas? Are we going to go to Kavanaugh?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's check out Brett. Those are the obvious ones.
Oh, and there's something about Amy Coney Barrett that's going to come.
Oh yeah, it may be it may be a couple years, but I think she's gone too.
Okay, let me see. Brett leaving soon.
It's like the FBI looking at all those.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they might be bringing up those. What do you call it? There might be another investigation or something into him.
Mm-hmm. I got no on Brett, but I got a big news flash in my brain. You do Brett, and then we'll go to my news flash.
Well, my mind flash was him crying, and then I seen him in handcuffs. I'm not sure what that means. I got some dark secrets about him.
Mm-hmm.
those rumored and dark secrets come to light.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the moon. So this is October.
Mm-hmm.
There he's gone from the court. After this comes out, replaced by a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have a lot of law, subpoenas, indictments. That this he could be locked up here too. Locked up. So it's I got it as 3 or 4 coins. You know, it's like these subpoenas and whatnot, but then it also can be locked up because the 4 of coins is holding on to something. Wow. Something, I don't know if it's perjury or worse, but it's all coming back to the former guy with the King of Coins. Here, I'm thinking this is FBI Director Ray, and then a culmination of the dark times that he's been hiding with the 10 of Wands.
I asked if it was his dark money connection, and the first thing I got was he should have walked away when he had the opportunity, and he didn't.
Most likely, yeah.
That they could. And so then after that, it was, is it the dark money connection? 10 of Swords. Yeah, he was having a good time party with them, never expecting the change to come, the other coin to drop. And it's like the guy's self-destructive. It's like it's almost what he wished for.
I mean, at least he's made some decent things in the court, but oh my God, I always seen him gone somehow, some kind of investigation.
Yeah, I think it's the dark money that they've got out of Sheldon's committees.
It very well could be. First time I've ever seen that though, because I was like, okay, show me what the people is having on the court, and I got that vision of him crying, and then actually handcuffed by the FBI or something. Like, wow, like a perp walk after an indictment or something. Who's the last one? Yeah, Amy. Who else is having issues?
Yeah, we're going to look at Amy now. Or I'm going to look at Amy. I don't know.
Oh, good Lord, Liz. I think we know where the dark money comes from. Okay, Amy.
Oh, yeah. Amy's in real trouble. They're really going to lock her up with this. She's going to be given an offer she can't refuse.
I'm not seeing her. I'm not seeing her in prison or any kind of legal jeopardy, but you may be right. I think she's had abortions herself.
Probably.
There's some kind of lying going on. Yeah, I think she is able to walk away unscathed, but leaves at some point. Yeah, we got a change happening to public service in the court coming up for her. So she's out of her current situation. The reason why I think she is totally lying about her whole family situation and whatnot. I have Magician, 5 of Wands, and then everything she believes about family. And then my creator magician card, it says doctor. You know, it can be a doctor, but I looked at that and I'm like, doctor. You know, and it's like something hidden deep down within her own mind that she doesn't want to remember. So it's like a doctor did something that she is lying about. This is fertility, having babies, but there's some 501 anxiety within her. So I'm not sure if that's, but what I was being shown in my mind's eye is about, it's like she's holding a mummy, right? Like like a baby that's passed or something, or some choices she made that she's hidden.
I know she's got a huge family. Are they all hers? I mean, I know they're hers because she adopted them, but
totally adopted, yeah. So then I have the 9-10 of swords, and she's leaving with her decision intact. But something that's really heartbreaking, very damaging. So eventually she leaves from, like I said, nothing came up of thought of indictments or anything. She just, like Clarence, walks away. Who's to say, though, Janie Thomas might not get arrested later if she doesn't come from out of the cuckoo stand?
What I've got is Amy Coney Barrett's going to have an emotional breakdown.
That very well could be. That's that 9 of 10. That's
a winner.
Breakdown.
She's the Queen of Swords. She thinks she can handle it, but then the estrangement and the violence that the psychological violence she's feeling around her, she wants to be left alone. She's happier being left alone. And she just walks off, goes to the King of Summer. Yeah, because her thing is obstacles, and she has a spiritual illumination. You know, people can change. I mean, we tend to think that, especially if she's younger, she can change. Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Oh, that could make sense too. Maybe that's why she's adopting.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was feeling. Is something happened to her when she was young and she can't. People don't understand that, that there's a lot of complications, especially, I don't know how, well, it was always been legal since she's been fertile, I think. But she had the money to do it.
Because my guys are showing me holding a mummy.
That's what I would feel. That's what I would feel if I was envisioning someone who'd lost a child.
Yeah. And crying and sad and something she put aside. That makes sense why she adopted. She's hiding this secret. Good Lord. Linda says maybe kind of cancer. Could be. I wasn't getting how.
Harley girl, Jenny Thomas was involved with a cult, and it was a New Age cult, and it was called Spring something, and they was very much into mind control, and it was out when I was reading at psychic fairs in the 70s and 80s. It was out there, and I met some of the people who were in the cult, and that's very, very weird. If you've never been around someone who was really in a cult, they will tell you that I had 2 women that I used to read who were Moonies, and they told me years later things would trigger in their mind that they'd been brainwashed when they were in the Moonies. So it's a very, very tricky mess.
Yeah.
So can we go read something else? LifeSpring, that's it, Marie. Yeah. Can we go read something else? Can we read
something right?
Happy?
It's getting icky.
The energy's getting really heavy over here, kids.
I'm starting to get choked up in my chest. Yeah.
I'm going to burn one of my major arcana candles and I've saved them for a special occasion. And today it's the Chariot. So let's move on from this. Wow, set this baby on fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the fairies deck and throw 3 cards for Mother's Day.
Okay.
Get some lovely energy. We should be talking about the celebration of mamas, children, and being loved and cared for, and not the horrors of
Republicanism.
That, yeah, and a possible decision. Give me a couple cards on Mama's Day.
Chariot, take me away. Get me out of this energy. Ugh. The intention that comes with this candle, I've talked about these before, is to obtain balance and freedom of movement. So I think it's perfect for today.
Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy. What 3 beautiful cards. I got all major arcanas.
Oh, cool.
Fairies deck. Unity, the world, and strength.
Great.
That's the Hierophant. Yeah, the world and strength. Spiritually like-minded community. The journey is now complete. And embrace how wonderful you are.
Cool. Oh, that's beautiful. Which deck is that? That's the fairy deck?
Yeah, Doreen Virtue's fairies.
Oh, okay.
I love them for messages or even personal readings. I wish they weren't so big.
Are those from Hay House? All their dark cards are big.
Yeah, huge, but hard to shuffle.
Yeah, the first time I got one of Radley Valentine's decks, I tried to shuffle it and it flew all over my living room. And my daughter looked at me and said, "Mom, you better practice that before you go on the table." They do that because the amount of detail they put on their cards, which is okay. I'm going to pull 3 from the Housewives Tarot for Mom. Well, I got good things. I got the Knight of Pentacles, which is we should all value these people and take care of them. And Mom is the Empress. Going to be a good day for warmth around it. And the Ace of Wands, new beginnings.
Got a little sweeper there, huh?
Little feather duster.
Little feather duster.
This woman looks amazingly like my mother.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Will Merrick Garland retire?
Yeah, there's been questions out there about his future. So let's see if he's going to stick around after it's all said and done here. Heck, maybe only said, I'm going to take down Trump and then I'm gone. Who knows? He's not a young pup. He's got great people underneath him.
I get no, not right now. That woman who's working with him, his second prosecutor that's really running that show,
Lisa Monaco.
She's doing a really good job, and they planted this garden very, very well. This is the Hermit card, and it's sort of Calgon, take me away, and it's reversed. And they're not about to come out of their shell and tell us everything they know. And I love this Temperance card. It's like you're making a recipe, and you have to have all the right ingredients. And in this Temperance, you have joy, you have anger, you have justice, you have sorrow. It's all mixed in the blender, and that's all part of what's going on. And we don't know the end of this card yet. But I see he's not putting his swords down. He's still fighting.
Oh, yeah.
He's going nowhere.
Wow. Let's see what this is meaning to me. Oops. Okay. You just do not know what he's doing behind the scenes. No. The world, the moon, and Ace of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
You do not know what they're doing behind the scenes.
No.
This is big, what he's working on.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be a death situation with what's going on.
You realize of the cases they've tried, and there's been 400, something like that. The only 4 who have not been put as guilty are the 4 that won a judge trial in front of a guy Trump appointed. Everybody else with juries or other judges has been found guilty.
Yeah, they were still found guilty, but they were weak sentences. But within the DOJ, they are united, finishing this off with what they're doing in the death, united in death and offers. He's not going anywhere. Did I have a woman? No, just all about the work. They're still trying to piece everything together yet. With it, I like this deck, but I can't see it well. 3.
Is that the fairy one?
No, I can't remember it.
Oh. God, how do you read that? Very careful.
Yeah, it's just the images are really cool, but the writing of what I need a little brighter of what it is in the bottom. With 5 of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles. 4. Is it 4? Yeah, 4 of Pentacles. So they're holding tight. They're still trying to put things together. They're holding tight with their documents and what they know. There's just a few more pieces to put together yet. Just a few more. 2 of coins and 2 of wands. They're still trying to put it together. So the 2 wands aren't together yet. There's still one hanging. So, but yeah, he's not stopping, and I don't see any retirement. That's the bingo there.
Yeah, in the world, he wants to get this completed.
Yeah, I've always had great feelings about Lisa Monaco, number 2.
Yeah,
she's a spitfire. She won't. She was in there a week, confirmed a week, and there was an indictment.
And somebody just said, remember, it took 2 years to get Nixon's cronies for what they did.
Oh yeah.
And it was 18 months before the first one was in a court. And so these guys have flown, and they had everything they did on tape with their voices, so, which we are now finding we have also. So where are we going here?
Oh yeah, Linda Reed. This is a spellcaster's deck.
Okay.
Yeah. There was something. Not there. Churches. Everything I've started is about SCOTUS.
Okay. Yeah, well, they're kind of the elephant in the room.
Big time. Okay, there was something else. What's going on with oh my God, what's his name? He was the guy that talked about the Green Bay sweep. Peter Navarro.
Peter Navarro. Okay.
Yeah, he's been referred to the DOJ.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with Peter Navarro?
Okay.
Like Bannon, he was referred.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to hold him contempt, or is there something bigger going on here?
His second card is the Tower.
Uh-oh.
Oops. And his outcome is the Sun. Do you want me to go?
Is he flipping? Yeah, go ahead. I haven't shuffled up that.
He's in this. These cards are pale. I'm sorry, but they're really good. Lunasol. And these are only meant to be read right side up. They're he's in the Five of Pentacles, so he's been walking. He's known he was under fire for a while. Right now, he's in the middle of Tower, and I'm reading this with the cards following it, that he's going to squeal like a pig. He's not going down for him. He's going to go against the Hierophant. And he's going to go for justice because that's his best way out for himself. His out card is, if he does that, he's in the Sun.
Ooh, so he better flip, huh?
Yeah. I don't think he's better flip. I think he's flipping right now. I think he didn't realize what an asshole he made of. I'm sorry. What a bad person he appeared to be when he was on with Ari Melber.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was crazy. He told him the deal on camera.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're just describing a coup. Mm-hmm. No.
No, I'm not. So what did you get on him?
Yeah, he's flipping.
Yeah.
The Four of Wands come out again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Three of Cups, he's united. The Four of Swords, he's worried. Laying in the shadows. Then I have the eight of Cups. He's moving in from. Yeah, he's flipping. Ace of Swords, and then the Empress.
Mm-hmm.
Giving it all up. Yeah, there's no indictment here because
no, I didn't see jail for him. I just saw huge changes.
Like
no one will ever trust you again. But other than that, you're fine. But I
guess
who cares about your trust if you're not in jail?
Sword of Truth, and the Empress, and Six of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
Giving. Here you go. Here's the info. Yeah, I have nothing of jail or anything. It's Four of Swords and Eight of Cups. Looks like he's just staying out of the limelight and getting out. Giving up the goods.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a celebration here, toasting cups with the Three of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's linked together. Here you go. Yeah, I think he's not going down. He's flipping instead of getting in a contempt. I was wondering about Rudy. Why he didn't go.
Because Rudy's strange.
His excuse is they wouldn't record it.
Record a tape that he could take out and edit. No, thank you. I don't blame the committee at all.
I do too, Hemp. Kavanaugh crying in handcuffs. Like a Rittenhouse. Crying. Okay, Rudy Colludi. Rudy Colludi. What happened with Drew? Why didn't you show up, Rudy? I don't know. I think he was told not to show up. We'll see. I think Rudy's in big trouble no matter what. Dripping Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've seen that, Carrie. We talked about that earlier. Enjoying the Meghan McCain takedown. Rudy.
Ready? Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, he was working for a sad emperor, and he knows that, and he knows that everything he invested in this has gone sideways for him. And he was told by his lawyer, this card often shows up for me to mean a lawyer.
Looks like it, yeah.
And the 3 cards I threw on it to clarify it was, the lawyer said, they've got you to rights. You got to make sure somehow you don't have to go up and talk on the mountain. So what he actually did by advising Rudy to do this is he put him in a worse position. And Rudy's idea was, I'm just going to try to sidestep as long as I possibly can. Because Rudy's going backwards, guys. Rudy's mind is not moving forwards. And his last card was all those he thought would ride in to save him. Rudy feels incredibly abandoned. And around that card I got, he feels abandoned by the King of Cups, who was his big buddy down in Mar-a-Lago, trying to help him. And he thought, I did everything I could to balance for that man. And look what I got. The Tower.
Oh, really? Look what my ending is for Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
8 of Swords, 10 of Wands, and the Tower.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to prison, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we have the government back here with the Knight of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I sensed he was told not to go. It may be his lawyer or something, but there's something that we don't know about with the government and the Knight. I also have the Temperance here. Wait. Things are dripping out. You know, be patient. But Rudy's whole world is going to come crumbling. All his connections within this seditious conspiracy type thing. That's what I'm getting here, the 10 of Cups. Everyone involved in this, everyone will have loss. The 5 of Cups will have, oops, wrong way, Ace of Wands within that loss. So everyone, this is telling me this seditious conspiracy.
Right.
Everyone within is going to have some kind of loss. Rudy's is being locked up.
Right.
Rudy's in big trouble. Tower. Rudy's going to be locked up.
I want to ask, is Congress ever going to hold anyone in contempt?
Well, it's up to DOJ, right?
No, it's not completely. They're they can pressure them to do it. I mean, the Republicans locked up that poor woman, Susan McDougal, during Clinton's.
You mean with inherent contempt or
inherent contempt? Yeah.
Okay. Do you grab different cards or use the same ones?
I'm reading. No, I'm reading my new ones. I mean, these are the ones I read from all the time, so I'm really familiar with the images. Okay, it has a whole lot to do with obsessive compulsive behavior. This is a yes. This is a yes. It's a wall of their own building. The Congress is of two minds about this. It has some illusions and delusions, but this right here is 5 yeses. There's a 6th no. There's someone still on the committee who thinks if they move too early, it'll ruin the effect of inherent contempt. But it says ultimately they are, and I think it's sooner rather than later. Because I've never seen them really pulling that trigger.
Wasn't there? I thought there was a bill in the House. I think maybe what's his name? Adam Schiff. I think
Adam Schiff. Yeah. Okay.
I think they have a bill in the House to codify it, but it's never been voted on. even though the committee does technically have that.
But they did it. They did it before, and they couldn't get the Supreme Court wouldn't let Susan McDougal out during Clinton's time. It was during his impeachment. Guys, I've been around way too long. That poor woman, that became a second career for her after seeing how women were treated in the federal system. That became her passion in life.
What do you mean, Delilah, how long I've been on? Confuse me. Okay. What was that? I forgot what we're tossing on now.
Well, we've got one that says...
inherent contempt.
Okay, inherent contempt. That's what I just threw it on, and I think they're going to pull the trigger on it. That's what my cards say.
Love letter. I grabbed Debbie's cards here.
Okay.
I have main male and a main female. Kind of weird. So maybe two in the house. Well, that makes sense.
The guy who's head of it, and
Liz Cheney and
the guy.
The guys. The mice. They're talking about it. Always lead with love. So the mice is, the mice work on things. They mind the details.
They kind of gnaw away at things.
Right. They'll bring the hole open, they'll pick on details. And then I have the letter and Lily. So the legal documents. And then the Lily, past wisdom. King of, what is that? What's a king of clubs? Or spades. King of spades. Sorry. King of spades.
King of wands.
That's a king of wands? Okay, it brings back the man. Could be Adam Shift energy and documents, legal documents. So
maybe his thing goes through.
Showing it needs to be legal, more legal. Like I said, I remember them saying something about they have a bill, but they've never brought it up to vote. Next, I have birds. They're talking about it. Then I have house. So yeah, I think the house needs to bring it up for a vote before they would do anything. If it was something about making it more secure, legal, something, I know they have it available. Glenn Kirshner.
It's been there since 1922.
Right. There was some kind of bill. I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. I understand. I mean, things that seem straightforward never really are.
Yeah, it was weird. Kirshner talked about it all the time. You just said since 1922 it's been available. Use inherent contempt. But some reason they weren't willing to pull the trigger on it. And I think Schiff talked about it once about there's a bill. Or maybe it was that guy from California.
Swalwell?
Not Swallow, is a Asian man.
Oh.
Jesse Lou, not Jesse Lou. I think his name's Lou.
Yeah, it is. That's his last name, yeah.
Yeah. I think he's the one that created it. That's who it is. But yeah, something needs to be done to the house before they drop the ball on that one. Ted Lou, yeah, thank you.
Ted Lou, yeah.
Ted Lou, yeah. Let's see.
Do we want to change completely? We've got one thing that would not change it completely and one that would. One is Matt Gaetz, who really, I don't want to go in his energy. That guy's just...
We don't have, we can work around it.
I'd rather read about Putin's brain cancer.
Well, what the heck? Let's go with Gaetz. Just an outcome. Okay. Is he finally going to get indicted soon? We can use the cards and not get in with energy.
Yeah. Well, I wish I was in my garden. I wish I was using the garden because my garden actually has a function that lets you tell time. And now that I've used it for a year, it really does work. You can throw the stones, and the majority of the stones will fall in the season when it's going to happen. So, but
troll alert.
My garden's covered with all the decks I'm reading from. So, guys, anybody?
Ooh, Tarot Destroyer. Love and light.
Oh, yeah. He's going.
Bye now.
Winter. He's going to be gone in the winter.
Winter? We don't want... Oh, he's got a tower.
Mm-hmm.
Bouquet. That's spring. Fish.
No, that's a gift that's given to him. They're giving him a gift of time, and I don't know whether it's to bury himself first or what.
The woman flipped. He's a snake. Sun's coming out. Time. Not sure on timing with Debbie's cards here. But yeah, there's a tower coming to him pretty darn soon.
He's going to avoid it this summer because there's so much other crap going on. But he's just sitting there waiting for the next shoe to drop. And I've never been in the kind of trouble he's in, so I can't really speak to that. But it would seem to be a most unpleasant place to believe to be. And he's very unconventional. This guy's weird.
He's very weird. So yeah, I got the bouquet and tower coming. And then the fish came out. So what's abundance, freedom, profit, movement, transitions. Going with the flow.
Could that be somebody pouring a lot of money behind him to keep him off his back?
That is King of Coins.
Mm-hmm. I got the Knight of Coins next to him.
Some money. But then the sun will be shown on the snake, so it's more of a patience time yet. But eventually, he'll go down. I don't see him getting out of what's going on, especially when the first card is Tower that came out, that he will be moving on from his position. Was that before?
I'm going to look at something really quick, and if it comes out, I'll let you know.
All right. I don't see him on the ballot before November.
That means he's gone in the winter. Let's see. Oh God, I asked this question. Anyway, this is for entertainment purposes only. And I said, has the holdup been because they're looking to get DeSantis with information that's coming from this? And I got, yes, that's part of the problem, that they're going after someone that's in the hierarchy and structure, and it's going to take them a little time to build the case. And look who they're going for. Mr. I want to change all the rules, and it's going to make him very uncomfortable. The way this reads is this is a no, and this is a no, but you have 4 yeses.
I believe you're correct there.
I think that it's trapping other people along with him.
That's the problem. Because civil servants are protected.
Oh, when from their official work they are, but this is, trust me, this behavior on DeSantis's part was very unofficial.
Oh yeah, I get that. But it's like they need the positive outcome before they would drop an indictment on someone like that. You know what I mean?
Well, also, I hate to say it, I've sat in a grand jury and decided if people should be held in jail. And sometimes I knew for the crimes we were looking at that they had purportedly committed, or they gave us enough evidence to say that it was worth taking it to trial. They meant some of these guys, if they couldn't get their bail, were going to be locked up for a long time. And you really think about that because, but these guys are allowed to wander free, which is what really hacks me off, because what they do is 10 times worse than most of the poor people that I had to sit on a grand jury for 3 months about. And we did murders. The one I was on was that kind of grand jury.
Weird.
What are we doing now?
I grabbed the Kipper on DeSantis and Gates and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have the coffin.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some kind of business agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got occupation and marriage. So there's like some kind of marriage, and then well, that may be Gates because I got like false marriage to a false person.
Yeah, I think we kind of people sort of felt that one about that thing.
And then there's some kind of business dealings with sudden wealth, and then yeah, they're going to court. Thief. So it's like business dealings. I think Greenberg is putting it all together with the family, everyone tied in, and the concern. And yeah, it deals with women. There's women involved too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like down in Florida, I don't like that Nikki Fried. I think she's kind of in deep with money too.
Yeah.
It's like there's Fried and Chris running for governor. So I guess they got Fried and Chris are the Democrats, so they'd be in a primary. But yeah, there's something about Nikki Fried that I don't like either. So I hope she doesn't win the Democrat side. Because she's got some ties of money and the same gig Greenberg was trying to get into with the marijuana. It's like the next Google.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was trying to cash in big on the legalized marijuana and throwing money at it. They're all taking backdoor money. And it's the same thing Rudy was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And with
well, that's what John Boehner left. When he left, that's what he went into, was a company that was trying to legalize marijuana in Ohio. And they were trying to wipe out all the small dealers who were ready to start up that, actually they were just restarting their business in a legal framework. But they wanted to wipe them out. And okay, we're going to ask about Putin.
Yeah, Putin cancer. What's going on with Putin cancer? Vlad. Putin cancer. So yeah, we don't have to worry about DeSantis in 2024.
No.
We have to worry about him in 2022.
Actually, he's screwing up their 2022 as fast as he can in Florida. Leave him alone.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a weird storyline there. Someone, I don't know if it was Rosy Cheeks or someone else. I didn't get into it, but there's a weird story about Vladimir, who's a biological mother and father is, because he was born or raised adopted or by someone else. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh Lordy. So yeah, there was a woman claiming that she's actually his mother, and I believe her when I was getting into that energy. So it's something to look up. Who raised him and who's actually his mother.
Do we have a troll?
Another one?
Yeah, Troll Destroyer.
Oh yeah.
1110.
Yeah, he's a troll for that person. Okay. VP and cancer. Oh yeah, he was raised by his grandparents. Okay. But anyway. Interesting story.
Well, he's going to survive the surgery.
Ooh.
But.
Ooh. Ouch. He's going through some major health issues.
Yeah.
He's he's delusional. He's trying to do some weird praying or something with when I'm feeling with that six of swords here. But I have the 10 of swords, the 5 of cups, and the 5 of coins. All bad things. Terror inside. Heartbreak and seeking medical. 10 of swords can be some praying too, or depression and anxieties, and he's seeking advice.
You know that the head of his defense is from Mongolia, and he's bloodline shaman.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he was supposedly doing some weird.
Yeah, he found God after being raised in a state that didn't believe in it. I don't know what God he found, but.
Trying to see what's going to go on here. There's a lot of terror going on, but we were asking if he's going to. I just asked generally him and cancer. I didn't ask for an outcome of surgery. Okay. So that makes sense when I'm asking her. There's going to be a change, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
The gluttony, the darkness. Right. This can be like the Grim Reaper coming for you too. Mm-hmm. But what happens? That might have to be a different throw.
Okay, what I got is...
I got a circle. There's going to be a change.
Okay.
I got the Wheel of Fortune change coming up. So...
I got the Wheel of Fortune too.
There's going to be a change to a situation. How bad it is, whatever that means.
I did a second reading on that. Yes, a change is coming. He's fought them doing this surgery, and he now realizes he can't wait any longer. I think the tremors have gotten too bad. So he's going to try to go in and make his way out of it. I got the Wheel of Fortune too, that something's definitely going to change, but it doesn't end him. But then I said, okay, if it doesn't end him, does he run the government again? I got no. He's going to try, but no, and no. Huh. So I think this is going to be their way to get rid of him. I've always seen someone in a white lab coat putting a hot shot in him. I've seen that for months. And I thought they might do it during surgery, but I think it's too obvious, and they're not going to do that now.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe that was the plan. You know, like have a nurse or someone who trusts, put him out. I mean, like, he's got to have backups to, you know. That guy right now, when everyone wants to have you outed, you're under a knife right now and be put out. And so that would be pretty convenient. Instead of the anesthesiologist putting you out, you out.
Well, the other thing is that he may not emerge from this well enough to do anything. He may not emerge from this well enough to put two words together.
True. Okay.
Did you see the weird thing about Vladimir Putin launching an energy attack on empaths?
Nope.
We have enough problems, guys. We're dealing with the Ascension. What's he trying to do? Do you want to answer that?
Susan sent in 3 weeks. He's gone after post-op.
That would make sense.
Putin surgery. A lot of feminine energy. I'm getting here. Whatever happens with VP Vlad happens this month. He's probably gone this month. Yeah, if he has this surgery, he doesn't come out of it. And I have feminine energy.
Yeah, that's the lab coat I saw that gave me.
I got a couple feminine energy here happening this month yet.
Mm-hmm.
In May. And change the situation, balance, things coming right.
Mm-hmm.
Positive energy coming our way, not his way. And then the 5 of Swords and Knight of Swords. A lot of swords coming after him there. The conflicts. So yeah, it's happening. So it very well could be right, Susan. Either he doesn't make it out of surgery properly, or he never makes it to surgery. One of the two. But whatever table he's on, it's just. It's the way the cosmic forces are going to make this turn out.
Okay. Does Vlad going away improve the situation for Ukraine?
That'll be okay. Improving situation. That's a difficult one, Jen.
My answer is yes, that this change that's coming, it rewrites the rules to a certain extent. It's been a poorly planned invasion, and the rest of the government wants to get out. And their hangman, as long as he's in there, they can't do anything about it. But if he's gone, they can build a strong foundation, and then they can get their money back. 10 of coins. That's all yes.
Judgment upon the government. Mm-hmm. It does end. I got the death card next to liberating the current government situation. And then I have death, consistent effort and balance, helping, assistance with the 9 of Pentacles. 3 of Wands, looking for assistance, and then better times.
Good.
The devil is gone.
Mm-hmm.
The world helps out. So yeah, this is the end with the 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords getting better, removing the devil and all the greed and power. Page of Cups, 3 of Cups. There's a bunch of assistance coming in from all over. The 3 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles. There's all kinds of assistance and balancing, helping out. seeking assistance. But the start was Judgment, King of Swords, and Death. So that's death of the current government in Russia. Judgment upon the Judgment Angels. King of Swords is a hierarchy ending. So yeah, I mean, the whole world's gonna, like the EU, everyone is gonna help, but who knows what? I can't, like a middle of the road type of person. I don't think it's a general that's whacked out. It's going to be taking over kind of feeling.
No, because I know he would make it. That would just harden the people that are putting sanctions on him.
Yeah, I mean, the Russian government can't move forward without all these sanctions. No.
Especially when Europe's really seriously looking at getting out of buying their gas, and they're already implementing the things to do that. That scares them worse than anything. You know who Malcolm Nance is? He's over there actually finding out. He used to always say that Russia was nothing but a gas station in a trailer park.
Sounds about right.
And you got to realize, guys, their money's been cut off. They can't get it in here. And there's a certain political party that does not begin with D that was very dependent upon their money. And so, like through the NRA and stuff, they're not going to have that anymore.
Not with them all sanctioned. Especially poor Mitchie with his best buddy Deripaska sanctioned.
Well, Deripaska's already spoken out against Putin. They had a long interview with him.
Yeah.
And now he can't. That means he can't go back to Russia, and the only place he has to come is our direction. And we've got a special message for him from the courts. So.
Yeah, they raided his 2 houses. So.
And honestly, guys, if you're going to die, I mean, if you're going into that kind of heavy duty surgery, you're at a much higher risk.
Good way to go too, because you're already asleep.
Right. You're just going. And I don't predict death. That was my mother's skill. She could see when people were going to die. It was really fascinating to watch her work with that.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's correct or not. If someone asks me, I'll see a number in my head. Maybe a time frame. Some have asked. I'm like, if you want to know, I'll tell you what number they show me.
If you really want to know about that, go find a really good Vedic astrologer. They're good. They love to tell you that kind of stuff and scare the pants off you. So. No offense to Vedic astrologers, and they're pretty good at it.
Okay. So, Oracle card of the day, and that's where we'll end it. We're
okay.
2 hours already.
I know.
It goes so quick when you start getting into different things. Have the remaining generals quit yet? Yeah, they should after 20
I tell you, I would. If I knew that the U.S. government was sending spy planes to watch me, I'd be out of
there. I can't believe they're still hurting people over there. Oh.
Okay, let's see what we got. I'm going to pull from the crystal. This is the deck I like to use, crystal reading cards, because I work with crystals all the time.
Okay, the deck I created, my universal.
Very good.
It says, pay attention to your heart and soul. Your physical and emotional feelings are your divine guidance. So when I made this card, it's paying attention to your senses, your feelings. Like when someone says something to you, your intuition of knowing if they're lying or not, that kind of feeling. So you'll feel it in your gut, so you're using your emotional senses to connect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pay attention to your heart and soul. Those little signs you're trying to figure out how you're connecting.
Okay, I got Petrified Wood, which is an ancestor stone. And when you're dealing with the ancestor stones, you're seeing it's a strong, strong grounding stone. And a centering crystal assists in connecting you with the tree spirits to receive the deep wisdom and healing from our ancestors, awakens a deep knowledge of what lies within your blood and bones and your ancestry. So that's your intuition, and assists in realizing any old ancestral karma that should be brought down through your bloodline. So what you need to kind of work on. And this card can also indicate that a family member is in spirit, has heard your loving thoughts and prayers, and is shining into your heart. So for those whose moms are not in this world, mom's trying to reach you today. It's her day to reach out.
Yeah. Blessings to my mother.
Yeah, mine's up, maybe talking to yours.
Hey, what's up? Isn't that cool? Right? Together on the live stream?
Yeah, yeah. My mom would say, we always loved Wisconsin. We used to vacation in Winneconne every summer. So
nice.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Nancy Jane, for joining up and your awesome wisdom on politics and others. It's quite a bonus when you've been in the trenches and know a lot more. Give a little enlightening. Surgery the 15th. Rebellion in China. Oh, there's so much going on. But anyway, happy Mother's Day.
Okay.
Love you all. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.